Welcome back to Absolutely the Best Podcast, a work in progress. I'm Zach, and with me today is my good friend George and my good friend Michael. I've decided we're good friends now.
No,
I hope that's okay with you.
I like that. I didn't want to say it. I think we're good friends, but I didn't want to be the first one to say it.
I know how that goes, but I had to do the intro, so I felt kind of pressured into it. I meant every word, though. Today, we are discussing James Cameron's Aliens from July 18th, 1986. After we discuss the movie, we'll figure out where to place it in our AVPCU movie ranking in our mission to figure out which one is absolutely the best. We already did it. It was Alien. As a reminder, we assume the listener has seen the movie before, and of course, there will be spoilers. Real quick, I do want to derail us. I forgot last time that we had an email. I saved it for the end, and then just went so long that I skipped over it on accident, didn't even realize it. So we had an email that Major sent in. I want to get out of the way up top this time so I don't forget again. So he wrote in about the Limitless episode, and he thanks us for a couple of hours of entertainment on a 9-hour drive back home from an event. Recall Majors does retro gaming events and hauls a bunch of arcade cabinets around. He's pretty sure that he saw Limitless in the past, but forgot it, kind of recalling the NZT-48 part and maybe confusing that with Nuke from RoboCop 2. I don't know how you would confuse those two movies, but maybe the two drugs. I guess that's what he means. He ribs us a little bit about being sponsored by Advil, because I guess we talked about Advil for a bit, but was wondering why we said Advil, not the generic term ibuprofen. And I think it's like one of those things where you say Band-Aid instead of bandage, or like Kleenex instead of tissue, Q-tip instead of cotton swab, stuff like that. So I feel like Advil is probably lesser of those, but I don't know, that's what I think of it anyway. Then he's got some more long hauls ahead, and he hopes to get some more episodes to pass the time. Sorry, I can't turn them out faster than this, but he's looking forward to the AVPCU series. He's only got by the time this comes out, obviously we'll be in the middle of it, but from recording, there's only about a week to go, I think, for Alien drops. And he always appreciates the outtakes at the end. Always listen to the end, people. There's always extra stuff at the end. I think always. I don't know. We definitely haven't skipped in a while. But thanks for writing in, Majors, and drive safe, buddy. So now let's get on to movie memories for Aliens. Would somebody like to go first? I'll take that as a no. I don't know when I first watched this or if I saw it before Alien or after. I'm pretty sure I saw this before I saw Alien. But the last time I saw it was around 2008. I talked about last time with Alien, how we just watched all four with a friend of mine. So this time I decided to do the theatrical cut because I feel like Cameron tends to leave in unnecessary stuff as it is. So the director's cut's going to be just chock full of it. A lot of this did not hold up the way that Alien did. And a lot of it, I think, is James Cameron thinking that he knows better. And for example, he didn't hire H.R. Giger on to help with anything. He just kind of, quote unquote, improved upon the designs. He wanted full creative control. So I don't know, that kind of irked me a little bit. And I think a lot of this boils down to have you guys heard the story of his initial pitch where he was in a room full of movie executives or whatever for whatever publishing house put this out, and he just wrote Alien. I mean, it was specifically to pitch a sequel to Alien, right? And everybody was thinking Alien 2, and he just wrote Alien. He turns around, he looks at him, and then he puts a big S and turns it into a $sign at the end. And I was like, that sums up the problem here. He was just like, how much money could we make with a sequel to Alien? So to me, that's kind of the underlying issue. I also listened to the commentary for the theatrical cut. That's James Cameron. He told a little bit about adapting this Alien 2 story. He had a story he had already written called Mother, when that had the power loader thing in it still. And then he just added in the Marines and Ripley, and that was a mistake because not because I don't like her. It was great that she's in it, but they wrote her into the movie before they had any kind of a deal with her. And so then when they were like, "Hey, we need you to be in this movie," she's like, "Yeah, I need you to give me $1 million." So she got paid. Good for her.
She should have asked for more.
Yeah. I mean, well, this was also 1985 when they made it.
She should have asked for more.
Pretty early on in the commentary, Cameron says that he didn't know anything about how corporations work, and I think that shows in several spots. Somebody should have caught those things in a revision of the script at some point.
When he talks about how corporations work is just like Yutani itself and how Yutani behaved.
I have some notes later, but basically about how he, basically like a lot of it has to do with numbers, like how much stuff costs and like, what the corporation actually does. So, and then there was also other people. I think there was multiple commentaries that they just kind of spliced bits and pieces together because sometimes it's just James Cameron and sometimes it's him and I think Sigourney Weaver. And then sometimes it's some of the cast, like Bill Paxton, Jeanette Goldstein, Michael Biehn, Lance Henriksen. Actually, it was interesting because Bill Paxton and Michael Biehn said at one point that they were both up for Police Academy 3, but got Aliens. So they didn't have to be in Police Academy 3. So,
Steve Guttenberg missed them.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
So that's my 7.5 cents on the movie memories there.
Michael?
I definitely saw this one a lot of times, and I thought it was really cool as a kid. I watched this for Games My Mom Found about a month ago, and I didn't like it nearly as much as I used to. And then when I watched it this time, I was so annoyed by it. It was, and it's all James Cameron. There is a lot of great stuff that happens in this movie, but James Cameron can't get out of his own ass. So like there's just so much stuff, and I have some like very specific notes, and when I was on Games My Mom Found, I got a lot of pushback on them, and I don't think I'm going to get as much pushback on them here. But
man, I want to hear this now.
Yeah.
Well, the first hour of this movie could have been 25 minutes, and we could have gotten exactly all of the same stuff, and this movie would have moved at a pace that wasn't quite so annoying.
Yeah, I think that would have been a huge improvement. Yeah, I agree.
It's James Cameron touches. Like when you go into her ship and it's like panning around the cryo chamber, it looks like somebody sprayed the place with adhesive and then just threw glitter all over everything. And it's like, why is everything so glittery? Because it doesn't look like it's wet. It doesn't look like it's icy. It looks like it's covered in glitter. And there's no reason for it.
That's probably literally what it is. So.
Yeah, I'm sure that's literally what it is, but I don't know what he's trying to make it look like it is.
It's fairy dust from Legend.
That's what it looks like, and why? And then like this is the hill I'm gonna die on in this movie. If the first time you saw the power loader was at the end of the movie, it would have been awesome. But instead, we get a long scene where she gets into the power loader and picks up a box. And it sucks. Because we know that that's what she does. We know that she can use the power loader. That's like her job. We don't need to see this scene where she knows what she's doing. And there's like a zoom in on her fingers, like making the things twist. And it's like, if the first time you saw her got into that power loader was when she was about to fight the alien, that would have been so badass. But you already got this long scene about it. It's like, all right, fine. She knows how to use it.
So
Cool.
I looked at it as kind of, well, I guess maybe they could have just shown the power loaders in the background, but I looked at it as, Chekhov's power loader. Like that's going to come in handy later. It does go on too long. You don't need to see all the minute details that James Cameron wants to show off with his creation. So I agree with you there, but I don't know that cutting it out entirely. I mean, I wouldn't have been like, oh, how'd she learn to drive that?
Yeah.
Right. But this was 1986.
Yeah, nobody in 1986 would have done that either. That would have been like a 2023 and beyond
Okay, fair.
thing. But yeah, this movie, once it hits an hour, it goes and it's great. But that first hour of this movie is
it's pretty
painfully long.
Yeah, agreed. All right, George, what about you? You going to bring us back up?
No, I thought I would, but I mean, I didn't realize that you guys also had the same feeling. So I think I mentioned in the last podcast too that I'm pretty sure I saw this before Alien, and I saw them separately, and I really liked it. I remember really liking I'm really into big mecha aesthetics, so the power loader was like a dream come true. Like, hey, that could maybe one day they could actually make that, and I could skewer people with it. It just I vividly remember that whole cargo bay scene from my childhood, and I gotta say, it makes a huge difference watching Alien and Aliens back to back, because the differences probably wouldn't have jumped out at me as much if I had watched it separately. But because of this show, we watched it back to back, and this one definitely. And I think in my mind, prior to watching it back to back, I held Alien and Aliens pretty close together, and this kind of just dropped precipitously after I watched them back to back. I still think it's a great movie because of all the action and stuff, and I fucking love Hudson and Hicks.
Yes.
And just like all of Hudson's lines, I started missing Bill Paxton when like rewatching this movie, because I was like, damn, he has like all the best lines in this movie. Like, I don't know how many times I've said like, game over, man, game over, just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this time I think just watching it back to back, I just came to realize it's not as good as Alien. I think there were definitely scenes where I'm just like, hey, shouldn't there be like acid like everywhere, just like melting the shit out of everything?
Yeah. Yep.
I think one of you guys might have mentioned that
I
in
think Colby
our
did,
little
yeah.
chat. And when you see like what do you call it? When you remember how bad and how much it ate through, like how many scenes or how many floors of the first ship, you're like, that didn't do anything, you know? And then
Well,
sometimes it just doesn't make sense, because it just like on Hicks, it just kind of it splashed on him, and then all of a sudden he was incapacitated. But I don't know if that's because the acid ate through, and then all that fumes from his armor.
Yeah, I don't.
Was
they just
toxic.
needed
I
an
don't know.
excuse for him to be on the sidelines at that point.
Yeah. And then also I was like, why isn't Michael Biehn like a bigger action star after this?
So
I really
that's
liked
interesting.
him. Yeah.
My recollection was that he was he was kind of canceled, but that's
He
not
was?
true at all. No,
Yeah.
I was incorrect, or I didn't find anything that supported that anyway. What I saw was
Yeah.
that he focused on his family more. He's got a few kids. I think he's got an ex-wife as well, and a wife. And he focused on his family more. And there was some quote about him not wanting to do the kind of roles that he was probably going to end up doing, essentially.
Right.
So I don't know. I can respect that. That's fine.
No, I totally get. I just really liked him. He was just I liked how he just wasn't in your face, and then he just came up from behind as like, hey, like another underdog survivor.
Yeah. Yeah, so after this, the only thing I really know him from, I know it's not the only thing he did, and I think I have other things written down later, but the only thing I really know him from is Tombstone, and he's awesome in that.
Oh, yeah. Was he in The Rock also? I can't remember.
Yeah, he
He
was
was, right?
one of the SEALs or whatever in The Rock. Yeah,
Yeah.
playing a bad guy there. So let's move on to the credits. I realize I messed up, and in my own notes, I don't have anything on the writer and director, so I'm going to try to wing this. But it was written by James Cameron, David Giler, and Walter Hill. Talk about Cameron in a minute here, but David Giler, I don't think he did much. I guess he's got some credits on the first Alien for he was a producer. All right, and then executive producer on Aliens, I guess, as well as that writing credit, and Alien 3, Prometheus, Alien cover. So he's pretty steeped in the Alien stuff. Walter Hill, what did he do? This is why I like to prepare in advance usually. Also, Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, a bunch of other stuff. Nothing jumps out at me immediately. Red Heat, isn't that Schwarzenegger movie? Another 48 Hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so he's done a few things. But then James Cameron, who also directed, everybody knows who this guy is. He did the original Terminator, Terminator 2. Unfortunately, the Avatar movies. I don't know. Like I wonder now if I go back and look. I feel like Terminator, the first Terminator, would hold up. Terminator
Yes.
2, I wonder now, because it's like in my mind, it's a great movie,
Oh,
but now I
no.
wonder if it would hold up.
I got bad news for you.
Oh no!
Really?
Terminator 2 sucks.
Oh
Like,
no!
it doesn't just not
No.
hold up, it sucks.
Wow.
Oh, man. I remember tearing up as a kid when that little thumbs up thing went into the molten metal.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
So it doesn't?
yeah, no. James Cameron says, if you got a sequel, I can ruin it for you by putting in a bunch of James Cameron bullshit.
So yeah, I forgot that he did Piranha 2: The Spawning, which I like. Don't know if that holds up, but that was a fun one to watch as a kid.
He did a Piranha movie.
He did the Piranha sequel, where they the
hilarious.
Spawning, where they spawn with flying fish, which that's not how that works, but whatever. And then the flying piranha. I remember one flies out of like a corpse in the morgue.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only
Great.
Piranha movie I remember is 3D.
Yeah. Piranha 3D was good, but 3 Double D, I felt like I was just watching gore for the sake of gore. That one didn't really work for me. So, in terms of the cast, Sigourney Weaver reprises her role as Ellen Ripley. We talked about her in Alien. She continues to be great. Michael Biehn as Dwayne Hicks. He's a corporal in the Colonial Marines. Recall Michael Biehn was Kyle Reese in The Terminator. He's the lieutenant who goes crazy in The Abyss, and Johnny Ringo in Tombstone. He's basically Kyle Reese here. He steps in and helps to train up Sigourney Weaver's character, Ripley. Oh, do you know that this part was originally cast and like there's footage that they started filming with somebody else? Do you know who that? James
Campbell.
Remar.
No.
Bruce Campbell would have been a great choice. I don't think Bruce Campbell would have got fired. James Remar, that's Dexter's dad, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
If you know that show. He got arrested for drug possession. So I guess he was having some tough times back then. And they had to reshoot a bunch of stuff. And they still used some of the shots that he did. So he's in a few shots, but you just can't tell that it's him. So it's usually like Hicks from behind or something. I wonder if you can recognize that ass, though. Paul Reiser as Carter J. Burke, a Weyland-Yutani Corporation representative. I think I only knew him from Beverly Hills Cop before this, which he's great in. Great movie, I think. I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it.
I don't
It
think
doesn't
you
hold
should
up.
watch.
No.
I don't think you should watch any Eddie Murphy stuff
Okay.
from the 80s because it is so homophobic, like way worse
his
than you
stand-up
remember.
special, sure.
No, the
yeah. Okay, I know
movies
what you're talking
too.
about. I know what you're talking about now. Yes. Okay.
It's all really
Yeah.
bad. That was like his whole thing. It's
Yes.
80s through like the mid 90s. It
Yeah,
was just like F slur this and F slur that. It sucks.
Yeah, you got a point there. Let's see. After this, Paul Reiser was in My Two Dads and Mad About You with Helen Hunt. And I think he is so good as Carter Burke here. He is an absolute prick, and I hate him. So great acting. I assume he's not like that in real life.
I can't imagine he is because he's been working for a long time.
Right? Yeah. He did something more recently too.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Parenthood. Oh, maybe. There was a TV show. It was like, I want to say it's like Parenthood or Adulthood or something like that.
He wasn't in the Parenthood show. We watched that.
Maybe it's not. I don't know if that's what it was.
He
called.
was in this late
something like that.
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
That one. He was in this last Beverly Hills reboot or sequel or whatever it was with Eddie Murphy. Except he's the captain now.
The show I'm thinking of, he's the older husband of Jenny Slate. She was in that. And then I can't think of who's Cassie's mom and Ant-Man, George.
Oh, I'm blanking.
Yeah, well,
I want to say it's that one comedian guy's director's wife, but it's not Leslie Mann.
Oh, no. But anyway, so she's in it, and there's some other guy who I would recognize from other things. Anyways, Lance Henriksen as Bishop. Bishop's an android aboard the Sulaco. That's the ship they take to LV-426. Was that
not in it nearly enough?
No, right?
Bishop is awesome, and he should have been in this movie way more.
Yeah,
he shows up in the other movies, awesome. Right?
I mean, he shows up a little bit in Alien 3, and I think that's it. He's like, he's basically like, I forget what he says, but I think he just wants to be powered back off. Like he won't. He'd never be top of the line again or something like that. But Lance Henriksen is great. This guy's worked. A couple of things that stand out to me. Pumpkinhead. He was in Piranha 2, apparently. So maybe that's how he got this job. Terminator, Millennium, the TV show. Jennifer 8. That's a good movie. Maybe. I don't know. Michael's telling me nothing's good anymore.
That one I've never seen.
Yeah.
Millennium is really good, though.
Yep. Alien 3. Oh, I forgot. In the end of Alien 3, he also shows up as a Weyland-Yutani guy. Yeah. Who Bishop supposedly is based on. And then same guy, I think it's the same guy in Alien vs. Predator. And then he's done a ton of other stuff. That guy's worked.
Yeah.
But he's great at Bishop because he kind of looks evil, but he's just like the kindest, gentlest person.
Yeah.
So it really subverts your expectations, especially with what happened in Alien. Carrie Henn plays Rebecca. That's Rebecca Newt Jordan. That's a young girl in the colony on LV-426. It's Colby's favorite character. It's the only reason he ever watches this movie.
I'll tell you.
I could see you shaking your head.
The other thing that they could have done, taken Newt out of this movie completely. She is useless. There is no reason for Newt to be in this movie.
So you're saying you would have just went straight to the dropship?
I mean, I feel like it's, how in the first Hellboy, they had that scene where he saved the box of puppies and
kittens,
and it was great and everybody loved it. And then in Hellboy 2, they're like, oh, we have to step this up. So we're going to have him save like orphans, babies.
I didn't like Hellboy 2.
I didn't really like Hellboy 2 either, but they do the same scene. And I feel like Newt is just Jones, but bumped up. Like it's just something that Ripley has to protect.
And they had Jones. They left Jones behind.
They left Jones behind. They could have just had Jones.
Yes.
No, I feel funny. I feel like Jonesy was less irritating because Jonesy wasn't running around screaming
Exactly.
And making you wonder how did Jones survive the how many years before these guys were coming to save him?
That's another question is like, what is the time jump there? I want to get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
But so she
Sorry.
didn't bother me that much, but I don't disagree that taking her out would have, the movie probably would have been better.
Don't get me wrong. Like, she's good. Like, she's a good kid actor. It was kind of annoying because she did survive that long by herself.
Mhm.
So why is she so like scared of everything once other people show up? It just everything about every character in this is so inconsistent.
If I could play devil's advocate here for a minute, when your kid was little, right, and they'd be running around, they'd trip and fall. If you don't say anything, you don't look, they're okay.
Oh,
but when you start paying attention, they're like, oh,
yeah, nope.
Right.
You know what? You're right. It's been a long time since I've had to deal with that, but I can totally see that. But also, she doesn't need to be there.
Yeah. So that's not to say that Cameron had that thought when he was writing the script.
Yeah.
You're probably right. She's just inconsistent. But so Carrie Henn, most of her credits are for like aliens related stuff, like making of the movie, behind the scenes special features and things like that. She did a voice in some animated movie in 2020. I guess it was a miniseries called Thunder Island. I don't know what that is. And supposedly she's attached to some project in development called Triborn, which basically started off as an alien fanfic project. So we'll see how that turns out. Bill Paxton as Hudson, a boastful but panicky colonial marine private. R.I.P. to Bill Paxton. He was the best. I loved him in everything he was in, including, but this is not a comprehensive list, but Terminator, Weird Science, awesome in that. Probably a problematic movie to rewatch. True Lies.
Chet, right?
Yes. Yeah. True Lies, Twister, Near Dark. That's a great, great, great vampire movie. I have watched that fairly recently. Also has Jeanette Goldstein in it and Lance Henriksen. Pretty sure that does hold up, except for the part that was weak way back when. So like, that weak part is still weak. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. Predator 2, Apollo 13, A Simple Plan. Great, great movie, great book. Frailty. That's kind of a mind on that one. Just a tremendous loss when he died. I feel like it was last year. I think it was probably like 5 or 6 years ago. It was probably pre-COVID. I don't even know.
Yeah, I think it was way more than 5 years ago.
Yeah. But every time I see that guy, I'm like, man, I wish he was still making movies. But as whiny as Hudson can be, his character, I love him. I also appreciate that they made him the whiny, like the whiny character, or whatever, is a man instead of a woman being it. So I feel like that was a little bit of credit there to James Cameron, or maybe it was just lucky casting. It had to have been around the time that this movie had been in theaters, or maybe it was out on video shortly after. But I was at a stupid church camp thing for a weekend, and there was one kid there who just kept going, "This isn't happening, man, game over." And I thought he was just having a panic attack. I was like, man, what's wrong with that guy? Didn't know where it was from.
Did I go to that camp?
Maybe. Jeanette Goldstein plays Private Vasquez. I already mentioned her. She was in Near Dark, and she's also in Terminator 2. You may have noticed that she is not Latina.
And why did they make her that? There's no reason for her to be Latina in the movie.
Exactly.
She could have just been a white lady.
She could have been a butch Jew named Levine or Kaplan. It would have worked just as well.
It would have been exactly the same.
Yes. There's no need for it.
There's so many crazy decisions that got put into this movie.
Okay, it doesn't get better. It doesn't get better because James Cameron in the 2003 commentary said that she was the only actress who could pull off a tough Hispanic character. Like, there was no Hispanic actresses? Like,
what?
I think it still should have been Jeanette Goldstein. I think she should have just been Jewish and tough. That would have worked. It was no problem with it. She is apparently... Go ahead.
Doesn't Hudson make a alien joke and about basically a Hispanic joke?
Yeah.
about aliens.
Oh yeah.
About
yeah.
illegal. Is
illegal
it an
aliens.
illegal
I
alien?
guess,
Yeah.
I guess we would have lost that joke. Oh, that would have been a huge loss. The movie would have sucked.
What a tragedy.
James Cameron. My God, she is a quarter Brazilian and a quarter Moroccan, so it's a hair not as bad. But I am certain that this is brown faced. That I mean,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that that's makeup. And oh man, it is cringy.
She is on a podcast that I really like called I Was There Too. It's Matt
Oh
Gurley.
yeah.
And
Is he still doing that?
No.
Oh okay.
But it is back to being free. I guess all of their stuff got like bought up by somebody, so it's free again. She's in like the first episode or the second
I
episode.
listened to that.
Yeah. And she
makes bras now.
She does talk about like that.
Yes.
And
I don't remember what it was, but
I don't remember exactly what it was either, but I do remember her talking about it, and I was like, oh, I get,
Yeah. She's great. I like her a lot, and I don't really fault her for that. But and I would also like to say that since Disney now owns the Alien franchise, I think that should mean that Vasquez is a Disney princess. So that's most of the cast. There's a bunch of others that I don't really know. I'll rattle them off real quick, unless somebody's got somebody that I'm forgetting. William Hope as Gorman, Rico Ross as Frost, Al Matthews as Apone, Mark Ralston as Private Drake, Daniel Cash as Private Spunkmeyer, Tip Tipping as Private Crow, Trevor Steedman as Private Verbowski, Cynthia Dale Scott as Corporal Dietrich, and Colette Hiller as Corporal Farrow. She's the one who flies the lander, I think. But all right, let's get into the main discussion. I have a disclaimer that I'm pretty down in the beginning of the movie, but I think we've already covered that. So, cool title reveal. I like it. It's kind of like interlaced video for it says aliens. It's not as cool as the Alien title, but I feel like that's
nothing
kind of
could be.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of a metaphor for this movie. Is like, it's pretty cool, but it's not as good as Aliens. As Alien. The escape shuttle from Alien is floating in space. The nebula clouds or whatever that were in the background, those look bad. I feel like they should have just left it as some distant stars. I think that's another thing where like James Cameron was like, we got to step it up, and they just didn't have the technology to step it up. The music here, I know from 2001. It's the Gayan Ballet Suite. That's one of my favorite songs off that soundtrack. No 2001 fans here? Okay. Ripley gets rescued by some disappointed salvagers.
I had a science question about this scene though. So is there just a shitload of water and moisture floating like just on everything because something was broken? Or
I don't know, but I think that's what Colby was saying before. That's where Cameron went crazy with the Christmas snow.
Yeah.
The Christmas snow spray, and he just thought it looked cool. So I don't know, maybe that's it. She's been in there like 50 something years, so there's some amount of respiration going on. Maybe that's it. It is cool when they cut open the door and then there's the cool lasers. Unnecessary but cool.
That's again like because it doesn't just show the like laser coming through and then the door falling. It shows every line that thing makes.
Yes.
And for what reason?
Yeah.
And then it shows the machine, and then it shows the machine go away and turn to the side, and then people come in, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, you're 100% right on that. This could be shorter. They take her to some space hospital orbiting Earth. I think it's called Gateway Station. Points for not over-explaining here. Then creepy-ass Paul Reiser comes in with Jonesy, his Carter Burke. He works for the company, quote-unquote, but he's an okay guy. She's been asleep 57 years, but another unnecessary thing here, she's actually having a bad dream, and then the chest burster pops out. I thought that was, just to squeeze in a chest burster into the movie, but you see one later on, so I'm not really sure what the purpose of that was.
You see one later on, but it never happens to anybody that's part of this story.
Right. So I don't know. I didn't think we needed that scene necessarily. The chest burster part of it anyway. In the director's cut, she finds out that her daughter had died. And they show her a picture of her daughter. It's like a 1 kilopixel of her as an old lady. It's like the lowest resolution possible. But the picture of that woman is the woman in the picture is Elizabeth Inglis, and that is Sigourney Weaver's mom in real life. But we didn't really need that in the movie, so
No. There's a lot of stuff we didn't need in this movie.
this is why I didn't watch the director's cut.
Oh,
Then the company grills Ripley about what happened to their super expensive M-class star freighter. They said it cost $42 million in adjusted dollars, and I almost fell out of my chair laughing. Nobody put any thought into that number. Even in 1986, that's an absurdly low number. This is one of those instances where James Cameron was right that he didn't know anything about businesses. So I guess they were like, yeah, star freighter 130 years in the future will cost the same as 3 F-16s now. So for reference, the price index has gone up more than 30-fold in the last 130 years. A couple other comparisons: a cargo ship costs $10 million to $200 million. A cruise ship costs $500 million to $2 billion. And one SpaceX rocket costs $90 million. So they were pretty far off with a $42 million in adjusted dollars. They should have left out the adjusted part. It would have at least made more sense. 57 years later.
And the Nostromo was not like a tiny ship or anything.
No, it was enormous.
It had like
that's why I was like,
was
it's
huge.
essentially a freighter.
Yep.
So much to Ripley's chagrin, it turns out that the company has been terraforming LV-246 for the last 20 years. That's the planet where the crew found the eggs in the first movie. They didn't call it that, but that's fine. She's obviously upset by all this, especially because it's families there doing the terraforming. I had some problems here, but I made some assumptions. I think it's okay for the most part, but why haven't the people on LV-246 been attacked by aliens yet? If they've been there for 20 years or whatever.
I had the same exact thought. It's like, oh, we've been on that planet for 20 something years. And then it's like, oh, great. Let's go look at it. No, I'm not going to go. And then it's like, oh, just today we lost.
Right.
We lost contact with the. What are we doing, James Cameron? Why is everything so convenient?
That part actually does get explained. Not directly, but I think I have an explanation for that. But what it does not make sense to me is why they never found this thing. It's not a big planet. We have already discussed that. It's like a tenth the size of Earth, right? Weyland-Yutani knew about the signal, so they sent people there to terraform it, but they're like, oh, don't bother investigating that signal, right? So that doesn't really add up. So my question was, how did the aliens grow a queen and a bunch of xenomorphs without any hosts or anyone noticing? Then I think I pieced it together. After Ripley gives her statement and says what happened, Carter Burke tells the colonists to go check it out. Then they lose contact. So that's when they start getting face hugged. And I don't know how long it takes to get from Gateway Station to LV-246. Years? I mean, they go into cryosleep, so it's got a long time. So I'm assuming during that time is when all that happened. Although it's got to be in less time. It can't be too many years because Newt's 10. I don't know. Right. So she couldn't have been 5 when it happened. She survived 5 years. I don't think so. Right.
No.
From her behavior in the end of the movie, I would have been amazed that she lasted like a few days.
Right. But yeah, so when I was originally griping about, it sure is a coincidence that as soon as she shows up, they lose contact. But she blames Carter later on. So
I also just kind of assumed that the company sent the colonists to another part of the planet so that they would not see the alien ship. But at the same time, you guys are right. Like that thing was broadcasting, so they would have heard the signal,
right, like,
regardless, right?
And I don't know why they wanted to know. They wanted ash to bring back whatever they found, right? So like, why wouldn't they want somebody to go get one? I'm sure they didn't have a change of heart.
Yeah.
And a more general question was, if it takes decades to terraform a planet, how are these families of colonists surviving on it for 20 years, the 20 years that it takes, right? So like, it's not terraformed yet. Anyways, back at her minuscule apartment, Ripley is visited by Burke and Lieutenant Gorman of the Colonial Marine Corps, and they've lost contact with the colony on LV-246. They want her to go on the rescue mission. She's the only one who has firsthand experience with the alien. So I had a question here, but I think I've already answered it. I was going to say, how do they know that it's an alien issue? Like, how do they know it's not like a solar flare or something just disrupting communications? But if Carter sent them there to check it out, I think he knows. Gorman personally guarantees her safety. Carter leans on her a bit. He says that he'll pull some strings to get her back to flying spaceships or something, get her a job that she wants. I feel like with any half-decent lawyer, she could sue the fuck out of Weyland-Yutani and never have to worry about working again. Like, she could start a podcast, or write a book, and get it optioned into a movie.
Did you guys ever notice that Burke keeps calling her kiddo?
Yeah, I hate that. He's so good at being a real slimeball.
Right.
Yeah, it's just all so convenient. Like, and then they're like, oh, you got to go. And she's like, no, I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not going. And then she has a dream, which you find out that she has that dream every night. And then she wakes up from the dream and calls him up and is like, okay, I'm going.
Yeah. Well, the movie's got a movie. So, but I did, speaking of when she calls him, so when he leaves her what I thought was like his business card, and it's this comically impractical thick piece of acetate or whatever, and then she puts that in the video phone to make the call. So in the future, do you have to carry around a stack of these thick ass pieces of acetate for anybody that you want to call? Like,
it's a literal calling card.
Yes. That's what I have in my notes. Is that business card a literal calling card?
I think it might be bigger than this.
Yeah, it's huge. I do like the phone itself, like the CRT screen and all that. I'm fine with that, but
yeah, the alien tech, all of it is awesome.
Yes.
All of the tech in this movie is great.
So she calls Burke. I worked that. I think he was pretending to be sleeping because he was obviously in the middle of something. He's like looking over his shoulder at one point.
Shirtless.
Yes. Ripley tells him that she'll go if the plan is to wipe out the aliens, not to study them or to bring them back. And he gives her his word. So she's in. Jonesy isn't. That's a wrap on Jonesy. And then we finally cut to the Sulaco. I wonder how many millions of dollars this ship cost. It is a cool design. I kind of like the look of it. It just looks like a big sci-fi gun. Everybody wakes up from cryo sleep. In the commentary, James Cameron points out that there's only 6 chambers, and they used the mirror to make it look like 12. And if you're looking for it, you can see that there's 2 of certain people that you see getting up.
I will say, Ripley gets out of this cryo chamber. Bush
intact. It didn't fall out during the freezing process.
So thank you, James Cameron, for this one thing that's better in Aliens.
Yes. I mean, yeah, he didn't make her. Well, I guess she wasn't made to have shaved it in Alien either. But they didn't paint it out on her this time. She got her bush in the movie just like she always wanted.
Yes,
good for her.
Just
good
like I always wanted.
Yes. So, this is where we get introduced to the Colonial Marines. These guys crack me up. They're all good characters, mostly pretty unique too. Bill Paxton's the best. Gone too soon. I forgot actually that I say this all the time. I forgot that I got it from this, where I don't know who says it, but it's like, oh, you look like I feel.
These Marines it's so insane because in the first movie, everybody gets up out of cryo sleep. They're all like discombobulated. They're all having a hard time moving right away. These guys get up. The general guy like puts the cigar in his mouth, and then they just start doing pull-ups right away. It's like, did we get
badass Marines?
I guess these Marines annoy the fucking shit out of me. I hate them.
So I think a lot of a lot of what happens here is unnecessary, and I'm chalking it up to character development so that you don't feel bad when they get killed, because they are kind of all pieces of shit. There was what was I saying? Oh, was there weird ADR here? Apone, the general, whatever, with the cigar. He said, I forget what
sergeant.
Hudson says to him, but he's like, look into my eye, and then he walks away, and it's like, fall in line, people, let's go. It's like the whitest voice I've ever heard.
I was like, yeah, that was ADR, but I didn't clock that it was like a different voice. I thought they just
sounded
got him
different
to
me.
it.
Yeah, maybe
just because he was in a recording studio,
right?
I just assumed it was because the cigar was in his mouth.
Oh, maybe he didn't have it in the recording studio, so it sounded different. Yeah. They have the unnecessary exposition where all the Marines are wondering about Ripley. They recap that she had apparently seen an alien once. We could have all assumed that they had been briefed before they headed out. There was no need to have that. We already recapped the events of the first movie, so the audience is in on it already.
One of my probably my favorite line in the movie comes here.
Yes.
When Vasquez is doing the pull-ups.
Yes.
And I forget which one says it to her, but
Hudson.
He's like,
"Hey, Vasquez, have you ever been mistaken for a man?"
No. Have you?
Yeah,
and
that's
like,
the best.
So good.
Because it's like, it's supposed to be this, he's supposed to supposedly making the joke, right? And it's obviously homophobic, or I don't know, transphobic, whatever.
I think it's just because she's
taste.
butch. So
yeah. But I love that comeback is the best. It's like, no, have you?
Yeah,
it's the best. I love it. Solid burn.
Very good.
Then there's the breakfast scene. Again, I feel like all this stuff they would have just been informed of before heading out, but I guess it doubles as character development. They're all kind of gross people. It's more obvious ADR. Apone jokes that the mission is to save the colonists' daughters from their virginity. So, again, I'm not going to be bummed when these guys get taken out.
Yeah, really gross.
Yes.
And then he's like, oh, yeah, like, how I had it. I was thinking of it, but he's like
Arcturian Poontang.
Arcturian Poontang.
Yeah.
I was going to say Mandalorian, but that's not right.
Either way.
And then he's like, the one you got was a guy.
Right. But it does open it up for the sexual fluidity positive joke. Is like, doesn't matter when they're Arcturian.
That's
So you got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah, this was the most charmed I was by this breakfast scene is the most charmed I was by these guys.
Right.
After this, I can do without every single one of them.
The briefing scene coming up is that could have been shorter. But see, finally we get to something that matters. We learned that Bishop's an android. He does the knife thing that all the kids in my middle school imitated. Lance Henriksen learned how to do that, by the way. It's sped up.
Yeah.
With variable. Yeah, you could tell. But they use the variable speed camera. So he starts off kind of like normal speed, and they sped it up and then slowed it down.
It is obnoxious though, because they put the one guy's hand underneath, and then he's like screaming the whole time. It's like, shut up. You know he could do it.
But he nicks his finger, and the little bit of cum comes out. And then I have way fewer cum jokes in this episode. Don't worry.
It is nice that you know that he's a synth right away.
Right, and that's how we find out that he's a synth. Although I don't understand why he would have made a mistake. How did that actually happen? Other than for plot reasons.
It's probably. I mean, now I'm going to make an excuse for it. I was just thinking it was because he had another hand underneath him.
Okay, yeah, that's
so it
fair.
messed up his
and Hudson screaming in his ear.
Yeah.
Burke does a terrible job of acting surprised and explains it to Bishop. He goes, The artificial person on her last expedition malfunctioned and a few deaths were involved. But Ash didn't kill anyone. Like, he malfunctioned, but he didn't kill anyone.
No.
So I thought that was
But there were
weird.
deaths involved.
There were.
And
okay,
they
so
were his fault.
Yeah.
He's not okay. Fair enough. And for Carter, that's like about as truthful as it gets. So,
yep.
Then we have the briefing scene in the hangar. Gorman addresses everyone, tells them about the mission. It's pretty clear they don't respect him. You get the "is this another bug hunt" line. All this stuff where they're making references to other alien creatures. I just preferred it when this was the one. Like, there was one necromorph or a xenomorph, and that's all we know. Like, there's a face hugger, a chest burster, and a xenomorph. That's the extent of aliens. And I wish it would have stayed that way. And I mean, it kind of stays that way for a while, but then Alien Earth happened. I guess Prometheus did it first, but still kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Prometheus doesn't have...
It's not as Alien Earthy.
No. Ugh.
We'll get to that.
Alien Earth is so annoying. I'm sorry. It's so annoying.
I think this is the first use of the term xenomorph. Ripley recaps the movie again for the audience members who didn't see it and must have walked in late. Gorman tries to be tough and take command, but everyone's cracking wise. Yeah, in the director's comment, this is bad. In the director's commentary, James Gunn says that he didn't know anything about Marines when he made Aliens, but now he does, and he says that they'd never act like this, and he apologizes to the Marines for making them look bad.
What did James Gunn have to do with this movie?
Sorry, James Cameron. I keep wanting to say James Gunn. James Cameron said all that. I apologize to James Gunn for accidentally slandering him. Then
he
Cameron
does his research.
Then he says, these guys are like Vietnam era regular army. Like, why are you shitting on anyone in the armed services, man? Especially Vietnam veterans. Like, you should have just stopped when you apologized to the Marines.
Yep. So
now they're going to load up a dropship and head down to LV-246. We get Chekhov's power loader. Turns out Ripley can handle one. I think it's a cool prop. It does go on too long. The green screen looks really bad. Oh, I got a question for you guys. Trivia question here. Seems out of place, but do either of you know what the 1994 quadruple platinum industrial album is that has a song on it that samples the sound of the power loader here? I think it's pitched up a little bit, but 1994 industrial.
Is it Rammstein?
No, I don't think they were around then, were they? 94? Maybe, almost. Maybe. Yeah, they might have been.
Rammstein was around in the 90s because I listened to them in high school.
Late 90s for sure, but I don't know about 94. It's the Downward Spiral.
I have no clue.
And
the
nice. Song is Reptile. That song also uses a sample from the movie Leviathan at the beginning. So, and this is not the last Nine Inch Nails reference I have for this episode. Big fan, sorry. Anyways, Ripley impresses Apone and Hicks here with the power loader moves. Then we get some James Cameron gun porn. I did like the automatic rifles on the Steadicam rigs. That was actually a pretty cool idea. They load up the Cybertruck, and everyone has little camcorders strapped to their helmets.
That's an insult to the APC. That's a much better design.
I know. They all get into the armored personnel carrier, the APC. Vasquez has I can't speak Spanish at all. El Risgo Siempre Vive. Pardon me, everyone who speaks any Spanish at all, but I guess that translates to there's always risk, or literally the risk always lives, which I think is kind of cool. But again, if she had just been like a butch Jewish character, she could have written something cool in Hebrew, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So they load up the vehicle and the lander. They drop down to the surface. All the military drumming in this too was just kind of corny. It was really bad.
Oh, this James Cameron
thing?
score.
It must be. I don't know.
It's so like James Cameron, for somebody who doesn't know anything about the military, loves the military, and he loves to use that like imagery and the like you said, the drums and stuff. It's such a like war movie that's not a war movie, and it's an action movie that's not an action movie, and it's an horror movie that's not a horror movie. It's just like a movie that like misses a lot of its marks,
Mm.
and it's all one man's fault. And I'm
Yes.
so annoyed at him.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, they fly through some bad green screen clouds and plop the Cybertruck down on the planet. The team drives up to the settlement. No signs of life, so they head in and assess the damage inside. I thought the sets here were really cool.
I have
All the
another
set design
science
was
question
awesome.
for you, Zach.
Sure.
When Pharaoh was flying the dropship down, why'd she have aviator glasses on?
That's not a science question. That's a fashion question.
Okay, well, I was just curious. Was there even? I was sort of just curious if there even was a need for that coming off the Sulaco, because she wasn't wearing it in the end.
Right.
I did notice that she was wearing those stupid aviator glasses.
Yeah.
I think it's just, James Gunn trying to make Marines look like Marines.
He did it again. James Gunn.
They have the new and improved motion detector, which comes in clutch in a later scene. There's the big acid holes in the flooring here. I didn't realize this, but the scene where Hudson spits into the hole and it goes through several floors, that's a miniature. They did the miniature spit.
Really?
Yeah. No one and nothing seems to be around. Gorman declares the area secured. They start looking around the area some more, and they find some face huggers stored in the jars in the lab. By the way, Burke is wearing a vest here that would make Yelena Belova jealous. That is the coolest vest. I really like that vest. I want one like it. They get some movement on the motion detector. Turns out to be Newt. She was just been hiding out in garbage for a while. Ripley gets through to her when no one else seems to be able to. I like the scene where she's cleaning Newt's face. Again, could have done without Newt, but I like this scene. She's cleaning Ripley's face, and I feel like I can feel it, right? Like a hot washcloth on your face.
Yeah, there's definitely, it does give Ripley something to care about in this movie, because
Right.
she doesn't know any of these other people. Like, Newt does something, and there is a couple of scenes where it's like, oh, this is nice. Like, they do have good chemistry together, but it doesn't enhance the movie at all. Like, there's a scene where Ripley's talking about, she has this doll's head, and she's like, oh, you gotta, how do you think that the doll feels or whatever? And Newt's just like, she doesn't feel anything. She's a piece of plastic. There's stuff like that's nice, but yeah, not gonna. That's the last time I'm gonna complain about Newt not being needed in the movie. But she's not needed in the movie.
Where was I?
She's cleaning off Newt's face.
Right. Everyone else from the colony is dead as far as anybody else knows. But then good news, they've located everyone's transmitters. There's the line that looks like they're having a goddamn town meeting. They all seem to be clustered near the reactor core or something like that. So they head out to rescue all the totally still alive people.
And now the movie starts.
Yeah, like finally, right? And this is where we get like the bony rib structures in the hallways. I think that looks cool. I think it is faithful to Geiger's stuff, but Cameron never asked for his help. Bad news, the Colonial Marines can't use live rounds because they might rupture the cooling system and then the place would blow up. I feel like a big fusion reactor would have some kind of safety built into it that would shut it down if the cooling system failed.
Sure would hope so.
Right? But, the plot must go on.
42 million, man.
That's right. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They did cut a lot of corners.
Yes. Yeah, I guess you could save a lot of money just by not having to have those safety features. So it's flamethrowers only, which, I think that's cool as hell. I like flamethrowers. And of course, everyone has secret weapon stashes or backups. Also, 2 seconds later, Vasquez is leading everyone around and she's got her automatic rifle mounted in front of her and nobody says anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask you that they were supposedly they took off all their live rounds, and then Vasquez had a ignition switch or something for her rifle. If they were not supposed to be using live rounds, then what did they think she was doing when she was taking her big ass rifle and swinging
Exactly.
it and sighting it down?
Exactly.
Right.
That's 100% what I mean by that. Like,
she's going to use it as a melee weapon.
Right.
She's going to intimidate the aliens with it. They don't know she's not going to shoot. So now they find the colonists. They're all cocooned.
This is one of the scariest things. Like this colonist who's alive and all haggard. And she's like, kill me.
Yes.
And then the chest burster.
Even when her, at first she looks dead and then her eyes pop open and they give us the stinger music.
It is so good.
Yeah. I did like that. So yeah, the chest burster pops out and they roast it and her. Then I like this so much. This is probably the highlight of the movie for me. So the flamethrower's going, it lights up the place, and they realize that there's xenomorphs all around them. And so yeah, the action really kicks off here. In my notes, I did a cheat and just took all the DVD chapter name titles instead of having to make up my own and figure out where to go. This one is called The Battle, but it should have been called The Slaughter because the Colonial Marines get taken out. They do not last long. This is where we also get a good close look at the necromorphs and what James Cameron did to them. They have these ribbed heads, which I don't like. I much preferred the smooth dome of the original one in Alien. The only positive connotation I have is that it slightly resembles the cover of Pretty Hate Machine and Nine Inch Nails.
Does look like the cover of Pretty Hate Machine.
It does. That came after, though, so he wasn't influenced by that. So that's not a good excuse. So they're surrounded. Chaos ensues. None of it goes well. And Gorman isn't even in the fight, and he loses his shit. Since Gorman's having a panic attack, Ripley steps up and drives the... What's it called, George? I have Cybertruck. I won't keep doing that. Armored personnel lander, something like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Into the... and she drives that in to rescue whoever's still alive. Hudson, Hicks, and Vasquez make it, and almost Drake, but he gets hosed with some alien acid blood, which is doubly bad for Vasquez because that was her BFF, and she's the one who shot the alien that exploded all over him. So that's not a good feeling.
Yeah, there was definitely a feeling of we got a bunch of extra Marines here that we never knew anything about, just to light them on fire and have them. It takes so long before anybody of consequence is in any sort of danger. It's like, oh, let's get rid of these extra guys first.
Yeah.
This is a movie. There's Alien was like it has an internal logic, and things happen because of that logic. This movie happens because it's a movie, so movie things are happening.
Right. Yeah. Hicks has a great line here where he shoots an alien right in the mouth. He's like, eat this, which I feel like I've heard that elsewhere, but I can't figure out where. It turns out that the Colonial Marines couldn't handle anything after all. They're all rescued for now, but the APC's in bad shape. Everyone's pretty pissed at each other. We get this isn't happening, man. We get that line. We get the nuke the entire site from orbit line, which makes the most sense, right? And Hicks agrees. Burke shows his true colors here. He's opposed to that. Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. When the APC, when that xenomorph lands on the APC and starts trying to stab Ripley with its tail, and she runs it over, did the APC, when Hicks was like, your trans axle is shot, is it because they ran over the alien that the trans axle was shot? Because of the acid blood? Was that what happened?
Seems likely.
Because I remember wondering, like, why did they crash, and how did something so like hardened like the APC just stop working after running through a bunch of walls?
I mean, I feel like it's got to be the acid. I mean, they made a point of showing that the alien got run over, right?
Yeah, they showed it really close, and they also, and again, the acid doesn't seem to matter unless it
Unless it matters.
matters.
Yes.
Because they show the blood, but like it's a rubber tire and it doesn't do anything to the tire. It gets onto the thing itself, and you see it earlier that it melts through floors and floors of
Mhm.
like spacecraft or whatever.
Right.
But it doesn't even put a hole in the hull of this thing. The hull? The hull? What do you call that? What do
Oh,
you call the outside of a car?
The body?
the body?
Yeah, sure, whatever. But yeah, I had the same exact question because it runs over this thing and just keeps going.
All right, so we did This Isn't Happening, Nuke to Save from Orbit, Burke's opposed to that. Okay, too bad for Burke because Hicks is next in line for chain of command because Gorman's knocked out and Apone is dead. Hicks agrees nuking it from orbit is the only way to be sure, so they prepare for pickup by Furrow and Spunkmeyer in the lander. Then we cut to Spunkmeyer sticking his hand in some goop while he's boarding the ship, and other than going, ew, he pretty much pays it no mind.
Mm-hmm.
It, of course, is not good. There's a xenomorph on board, and it takes out the pilot, and the ship wrecks, so everyone is pretty fucked. They're totally stranded. Hudson takes it well.
Well, that's great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? We're some real pretty shit now, man.
You finished?
So good.
Newt suggested they get inside because they mostly come at night. Mostly, you know, that's a fine line, but why? Because it looks like it's always night there.
Because they needed it to be a horror movie.
I guess, yeah.
Like that's
Also,
a very
how would
horror
Newt know?
movie line.
How did Newt know? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, she's been dealing with him for a while, I guess. But I feel like once they've seen you, it's too late.
Yeah.
I mean, I know she can fit in small spaces, but I feel like a xenomorph could get in there, or they could just send a face hugger in or something, right? More bad news: 17 days before a rescue mission would be sent. So the new plan is to seal off the complex. I think Ripley's really good here, giving Hudson something to do so he can stop freaking out. That's smart planning.
We're not going to last 17 days. We're not even going to last 17 hours.
Yeah. I liked how he was like, why don't you put her in charge when Ripley was said that?
Yeah, his lines are great. So there's basically a planning montage here. They barricade the place. Hicks has a boner for Ripley. He gives her a tracking watch, which seems a little stalkery. And he does make a joke that it doesn't mean we're engaged or anything. That was kind of funny. Ripley immediately gives Newt the watch and makes her feel safe. This is a good scene, I think, though, with Ripley and Newt. So if there were no Newt, I don't think I would miss this scene, but I do think it's a good scene between the two of them. Here's another chapter title that made me laugh. It's called Speculation, and I wish they would stop speculating. Bishop says the molecular acid oxidizes after the creature's death, completely neutralizing it. A, we don't need that information. Nothing comes of that. When did we ever need to know that? And B, they're just making the small gripe that I had in Alien worse. Oxidation tends to make acid stronger. You have nitrous acid is weak. Nitric acid is strong. Sulfuric. If I really stretch the science, maybe you could, quote unquote, oxidize a carboxylic acid to an alcohol and a carbonic acid. Carbonic acid is just CO2 and water. But that chemistry doesn't exist that I know of, and it's not really oxidation. And again, look, we don't need that information. It never comes into play later. Even Ripley says, that's interesting, Bishop, but it doesn't get us anywhere. And it doesn't. Like, listen to your own script, James Cameron. Then she spells out what's happening in the movie and wonders who's laying all the facehugger eggs. I guess that scene that they cut in Alien where Dallas was being turned into an egg, right? And Brett had been turned into an egg. I guess that's not canon because otherwise she would know that people could be turned into eggs, right? Bishop lets it slip that Burke is a company man after all. He wants the facehuggers brought back alive. So Ripley confronts Burke about that. And this is another one of those stupid numbers you shouldn't have thrown out there. He says they're worth millions. And I know the movie was made in 1985, but that's like a comically small amount of money. It's also laughable that Burke would think that they would be set for life if they bring the specimens back.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, how many ways can you divide up millions and be set for life? But more importantly, he thinks that the company is going to split the profits with him. He's going to get a raise, maybe a promotion, possibly some stock, and probably a pizza party. And that's it. Like, he's not set for life.
Yeah, Weyland-Yutani is not like in the business of paying out for stuff that other people get.
No company is in that. Like when you go work for a company, you sign away everything that you ever invent or find or whatever. Like the company makes the money. They will continue to pay you your measly wage. And that's the deal you strike.
Yeah. But I mean, extra evil company Weyland-Yutani.
Yes. Right.
Like there's a reason that in what is that, Prometheus, where they're like at the, I think Prometheus was where it was like most prevalent when she was like trying to get out of her like contract, and they're like, no, you work for this company.
Mm-hmm.
What,
and Romulus, the beginning of Romulus.
Oh, and Romulus.
Yeah. She's trying to get off planet. Because her
Yeah.
contract was up or whatever. They're like, actually, you have another 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see the colony that they live in. They're all dirt poor.
Yep. Anyways, Ripley rightly points out that they wouldn't be able to get the facehuggers past ICC. That's Interstellar Commerce Commission, from what I could find. And Burke's like, well, they won't know about it. And she's like, yeah, they will, because I'm going to tell them. And all that's kind of hinting at Burke's real plan, which we're going to find out later. You know, it's not the facehuggers, it's the chestbursters.
Also not a good plan.
No, it's not a good plan. No, but he's a real piece of shit. So this is where we find out that Burke sent the colonists to the ship. Ripley saw the logs. He gives some excuse about making sure that they would. It's another one of those stupid things. This might just be his character being stupid, but he wanted to make sure that they would have exclusive rights. But wasn't the whole colony sent there by Weyland-Yutani? Why would there be any exclusive rights issues like that? That makes no sense.
In case somebody landed afterwards or something? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, all right. Okay. I'll give you that one. Because I guess if like once word gets out that there was an alien on that planet, one of the other 4 companies that we've now established in Alien Earth could be headed out there. So Burke admits that it was a bad call. Again, he's a real piece of shit. Ripley is going to rat him out, and rightfully so. So now he's getting pretty desperate. Then more bad news, everyone. Bishop has noticed the emergency venting of the reactor core, or whatever it is. 4 hours until it explodes. He says a 30-kilometer blast radius. He also says it's equivalent to about 40 megatons, and that's about right. 30-kilometer blast radius. I looked into that.
I was going to ask you about that.
It's a pretty good estimate. But if
there are a couple of countdowns coming up. I was going to ask you how accurate they were.
I crossed those out, but I left them in. So if you want to know, I don't recall off the top of my head, but I think I was just like, I don't know if this is one that's worth complaining about. But I did have a bit of a gripe here. If it's emergency venting, isn't that supposed to prevent it from exploding? Right? And also, was it the drop ship that crashed into it that caused it to be unstable? Is that what happened? I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like all of that, don't shoot your live fire, your live rounds. That was for nothing because the drop ship crashed into the thing.
Well, they didn't say don't crash the drop ship into it. So
you're right. Fair. They didn't say that.
You got to tell them everything. The good news is that Bishop is going to Andy Dufresne the shit and get to the colony's communication link and remotely pilot the spare dropship down to pick them up. I have such wicked claustrophobia watching the scene where he gets down in the tube that he can barely fit in and then they weld it closed behind him.
And he's just inchworming his way through it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's only 180 meters. Couldn't he just go outside? Like, he could make that, right? I don't know.
Well, they come out at night mostly.
Yeah, fair point. Moistly.
Ooh.
At the end of the scene, Gorman finally wakes up from his power nap. Then Ripley checks in on Newt. Did they try to get her to sleep in the lab with the facehuggers and jars?
I think there's wasn't it outside of that?
Maybe. It was like right next door to it.
Yeah,
So,
right next there.
Yeah. So no wonder she's underneath the bed, not asleep. Both of them almost get face hugged. It turns out that Burke let two facehuggers loose and then locked them in. And
he took her rifle.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Her rifle was just above her.
Yeah. So he wants to smuggle the aliens back inside of Ripley and Newt. Not a great idea. A cool idea. Not great. It actually gets used in Resurrection, right? And then I think that was the plan in Alien Earth as well.
It seems like if they can tell if they have like face huggers, they would be able to tell if there was like another being inside of someone. Like,
right.
It's not like
also
it's not like it's nothing in there.
And also, isn't it like unpredictable when the facehugger pops out? Like how long?
Yeah,
how long does it even do that
they
thing?
gestate.
Yeah.
That's a gripe that I have between every movie is like it seems to be different in every one. And like it's never really clear even with even Alien with Kane was that overnight, like because the facehugger drops off of him, right? And then they try to find it and they find it dead. And then sometime later he wakes up and then sometime later they go and have breakfast. So it's not really clear if it's been hours or, half a day or something.
Yeah, it doesn't even feel like 24 hours. It feels like just a couple hours. I mean,
Right.
the rate at which these things grow, I don't think you could have it in there for more than a couple hours before it like pops out. Because that thing, I mean, in the first one, he picks up that skin and then
it's huge.
There's an 8-foot xenomorph behind him. Like they grow fast.
Oh, also Alien Earth proved that even if you put somebody in a cryostasis with the chest burster in them, it doesn't stop it. It actually.
I don't like that you said Alien Earth proved anything. They're postulating that maybe.
No, but didn't somebody in Alien Earth have the chest burster in them, and then they put him to sleep?
Yeah, but that was 100 years ago.
True.
Yeah, 57 years ago.
Yeah, I rounded up to 100.
Might as well be. And my son is here getting batteries.
What does your son have to say about aliens?
He's not old enough to watch it yet. So where was I? So Burke's plan was to try to get them face hugged and implanted with chest bursters. And it almost worked, but Hicks and the gang saved them. I like that Hudson finally gets his poop together and saves Newt. I feel like he needed a little redemption here. P.S. Burke was going to sabotage the Marines' cryo chambers on the way back so they couldn't inform anyone about the aliens inside of Newt and Ripley. So everybody's pretty upset with him. Then the aliens cut the power, and I hadn't thought anything about that until James Cameron, in his wisdom, said in the commentary that the aliens had been around for weeks or maybe months, and that's how they knew how to mess with the electrical. I don't even know what to say about that.
I'm with Hudson. They're aliens, man. How'd they do that?
Yeah. So I don't know. I hadn't even questioned it until he said that. And now I'm like, I don't know if that makes sense. This is one of my favorite parts, though. It turns out that while humans have been playing checkers. The aliens were playing 3D chess because according to the readings on the motion detector, there's aliens all over the place inside. Then they realize that the aliens are in the ceiling. And while I do love this part, I do have two small complaints. One, the xenomorphs wait until they're discovered until they attack. And then two, right before they figure out that they're in the ceiling, Ripley says, maybe it's something in the floor. But she doesn't think about the ceiling. Still a great scene, though. They fight it out. We lose Hudson, R.I.P. Burke locks them out this time, but manages to lock himself in with the xenomorph. So rotten hell, Burke. Newt gets them out through the vents, and hang on a second. Hey, buddy, I need you to leave because I can't talk. I can't say what I'm going to say here. Okay? Good night.
Is he about to say, what the fuck?
Good night. I love you. I can help you with batteries later or tomorrow. So just leave it. I'll put it away later. Okay? Thank you. Thanks. Close that door behind you. All right. Good
I
night.
think this is the room where so much shooting goes on and the blood does nothing.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
They shoot. He shoots that alien at point blank, and like with an automatic rifle, there should just be a mist of acid just destroying everything in this room.
Yeah. Yes. So, yeah, Newt starts getting them out through the vents. Vasquez and Gorman don't make it. They blow themselves up with a grenade to take out some aliens. She says, you always were an asshole, Gorman. But they don't really know each other. Right? Wasn't Gorman like the new guy and everybody hated him? So that doesn't really make sense to me. I like the line, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I couldn't tell the difference between most of these
Right.
Marines. So like, I'm like, is this the one that they were like hitting? Was she like hitting on this guy? Like, she seemed to have a relationship with one of these guys.
That was Drake.
That's the guy that she blew the alien up all over the place.
Okay.
Like all over him, and he died.
They
That was
just,
Drake.
I mean,
it did seem Drake and Gorman looked a lot alike, especially in that lighting in the ventilation.
Yeah, you
chamber.
can't do this. You can't do this to me. You have to make these people look different.
One of them has to have a twirly mustache.
Yeah, give him a
One of them has an
goatee.
eye patch.
Yes. That's exactly what I need from this type of movie. If you have a dozen Marines, you need to make them look different.
One has a robotic arm.
Yeah, we can't have a bunch of like James Vanderbeeks running around.
So the explosion knocks Newt down some weird ventilation wheel. Hicks and Ripley find her with the Apple Watch Find My Friends feature, but she gets nabbed by an alien before they can cut her out of the sewer or whatever disgusting brown water channel she's in. Ripley at one point yells, they don't kill you, she's alive. She yells that at Hicks. But we've seen the aliens killing people a lot. So obviously for movie reasons, Newt is alive. Around here, Hicks gets a little acid on himself, shooting an alien at close range, so he's on the bench the rest of the movie. Don't worry, he'll be back to save the day in Alien 3. Meanwhile, Bishop got to the lander. There's plenty of time before the place blows up. Bishop says 26 minutes. Ripley wants to take a little detour to save Newt before they head off planet, and so Bishop flies them into the reactor building, I think it is. She stocks up on weapons and ammo while he's flying over there. Ripley eventually finds the nest. We didn't need the fake out here with Ripley finding the watch, by the way. She finds the watch. It's not with Newt, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it gives you the opportunity to show the egg hatch and the face hugger comes out. So Newt screams and then Ripley finds her. But
yeah,
I don't know.
It's a movie thing.
Yeah.
It's a movie thing that needed to happen because it's a movie.
I believed it about as much as I believe the chest burster coming out of Ripley at the beginning. So on the way out, they stumble onto the alien queen laying some eggs, which is so gross. I love it. It is incredible practical effects. This was Stan Winston, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It says it real big in the credits. Stan Winston opening credits.
Yeah. They did great on the queen. There's worker xenomorphs kind of keeping watch. Ripley and the queen have a standoff. I like this. I think it works. It's like an unspoken understanding. The aliens don't f around. She won't make them find out. But then she lights them up after one egg opens.
Mhm.
One. Like nothing even hopped out of it. And like the queen can't control that. I don't know. So she lights them up. Now it's on. And she uses a ton of ammo, including the grenade launcher, before even backing out of the room. After a bunch of gunfire and explosions and cool stuff, they race back to the dropship. As the place continues to fall apart, the queen pursues them. And when they get to where were you laughing about, George?
I just to my notes where the queen manages to go up the elevator
Yes.
because she has opposable thumbs
It's so dumb.
and press the button.
Yeah, that's a gripe I have. She's so big. She could have just climbed up the different levels, no problem. They should have just done that.
So big.
As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, she doesn't fit in the elevator. There's something
Yeah.
in the
That's what I
commentary
didn't
about
get.
that. Yeah, she doesn't fit in the elevator, and they just had to like have a black sheet draped over her with the back of the elevator gone, something like that. Anyways, yeah, that was kind of dumb. But so she gets up to where the lander was. It's gone. And she cusses Bishop out for ditching them, but he didn't actually leave. He was just flying in circles or whatever because it became too unstable to remain parked. And so Ripley, Newt, Hicks, and Bishop all fly away. They sure leave that rear hatch open on the lander a long time, though. The place blows up. All the aliens are certainly dead. No need to nuke the site from orbit, to be sure. Which I don't think they actually do. That should have been her last act, was to just, I got to be sure. Everyone's going to be okay. Bishop and Ripley jerk each other off. like, you're okay. You did great. But then, surprise, the queen has snuck aboard the dropship. This enormous queen. How did they not see it trying to get out of the lander? It had to have been in the way. And why didn't it kill them once it got into the lander?
How did they not feel it? The thing is half the
That's what I
size
had
of that
questions.
ship.
Yeah.
So if she got into the ship, it would have.
Right. It would have done something.
Yeah.
Bishop must have been a shitty model because as a synth pilot, he should have known that the plane was flying weird.
Getting a little more drag than usual.
Yeah, that thing is so big. Like it had to have affected how the ship was flying. But I guess movie stuff for movie reasons.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So regardless, the queen rips Bishop in half, and he pukes up all his cum because he's been edging just like Ash. Ripley gets in a loader and fights it. Fights the queen, eventually pushing it into the airlock. And there's the "leave her alone, you bitch" line that gets ruined by Romulus. But I like it here, and it's a good fight, solid ending. And it turns out that in space you can hear the alien queen scream. And now everybody's okay, except Bishop, who's seen better days. And everybody goes to cryosleep, and we will see them all in Alien 3, I have no doubt. There's another little bush shot for Colby as she's getting in. And we get the Gay-Anne ballet suite again from 2001 for the end credits. And that's it for Aliens. Which takes us to changes we'd like to have seen. So you go first, Colby.
George was right. Watching this movie by itself is a so much better experience than watching it directly after you've watched the first one.
Yeah.
I watched the first one 3 times in a week, and I was as enthralled the third time as I was the first time.
It's so good.
I watched Aliens 2 times within 30 days of each other, and it was way too much.
It was 1.5 times too much.
Yeah. It just, look,
It didn't make you excited for the new Avatar?
I haven't seen any of the previous Avatars, so
Don't.
I'm not going to.
One. Don't. Yeah.
Changes I would like to be to make. Make that first hour 25 minutes.
Yes.
Literally keep all of the same stuff. The story could be exactly the same, and you could chop 35 minutes off of that intro and then got to the movie would have been an hour and 50 minutes long. A perfect length for Aliens.
You have almost my exact same notes. I was like, it's 2017 minutes. You got to get it under 2 hours, ideally an hour
Yes.
45. And if you made that first hour 25 minutes, that would have got you there.
Replace Newt with a cat
Or a dog.
or a dog or a dog alien. No dog
an
aliens.
eyeball squid.
Anyway, you don't even need to. You know what? Forget it. You don't need to replace Newt. I'm just annoyed by the time Newt shows up on the screen because I'm annoyed by the movie because I've watched an hour of nothing happening.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point.
So if you got this down, again, get it down to an hour 50. It doesn't even need to be an hour 30. It needs to be an hour 50. The first movie works so well because the whole time, it's also an hour before you see the alien for the first time in Alien.
Right.
But the whole movie is building up to seeing the alien. This is ostensibly a action movie, and it takes you an hour to get to the action. That is too long.
Yeah.
Period.
Yes. Agreed.
If this was a horror movie and your horror buildup was an hour, fine. But this is an action movie and it takes an hour before anything happens. Unacceptable. And everything is there. Somebody could fan edit this.
Topher Grace.
Fan edit Aliens, make it an hour 45 and put it out online.
Did I miss something? Did Topher Grace put out something?
He fan edited the or I don't know if that's what it's called. He edited the first 3 Star Wars episodes 1, 2, and 3 into I think like one movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I don't think it's
that 70s guy.
Yeah, I don't think it's something
Oh,
that
wow.
you can get a hold of. I think he just did it and like showed some friends, but that's the story.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I was thinking about it. I'm like, I'm gonna rip this movie and edit it and turn it into the Michael Colby cut.
Nice.
And we'll see what comes out of it because
then we'll cover that one then.
Yeah, James Cameron loves James Cameron movies.
He sure does.
Isn't it like there's a South Park episode on him, right?
I don't know, probably.
Yeah, that's really my main gripe with the movie because there's a great movie in here, but it is bogged down by James Cameron bullshit.
Yeah. The only thing I have that you didn't already cover or didn't slip in elsewhere was the I want them to go back to the smooth head alien design, which they do after this. So, what about you, George? You got anything else on changes?
I have a few.
All right, great. Lay them on me.
The acid. I mean, we already talked about the acid blood inconsistencies. But what do you call it? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that the movie would have been over pretty fast if the acid actually stayed the whatever. What did he call it? What did Tom Stewart call it? Molecular acid.
The molecular acid. Yeah,
that was in the first movie. I would have actually also cut down the number of Marines, and instead of like a whole platoon, I would have made it like Space SEAL team of like just 5 super badasses.
Mhm.
I think, in my notes, I kept getting Frost's name mixed up with some other Marines because I was like, oh, Vasquez hands the ignition switch, the ignition thing to Frost, and I'm like, oh no, Frost is the other guy because like 5 seconds later, Frost is the guy that like died when he got set on fire by the flamethrower.
Right.
And it's just like, outside of Hicks, Vasquez, Hudson, Apone, and Drake and Gorman, I didn't know who the other people were. I mean, Spunkmeyer is only get your ass in here, Spunkmeyer. I didn't even remember what he looked like. So everybody else could kind of just.
He looked like a
just in a red
Spunkmeyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Make each one of these characters' deaths matter because they don't matter. It's
You
just
lose
like,
like
oh,
4 or 5 of them at one time.
yeah, this
Yeah.
dude just like, is it Frost, the one who gets set on fire and then falls down the middle of the like stairwell?
I think so.
Like, who cares? Like, who cares? Who could possibly care?
Frost is somebody's favorite. Somebody out there was like,
Somebody likes Frost.
No, it's literally impossible because Frost is literally no one.
that actor's mother likes Frost the best.
Okay, the actor's mother likes him the best.
Then I had like the alien in the first movie was so scary, and I actually I know we're all shitting on Alien Earth, but I actually like how badass the Alien Earth alien is too, where like you have these whole platoons coming after me, and then the alien just dodges everything and like comes at them from all these different angles and just demolishes like an entire platoon. But like, well, a couple hundred of these guys, and Ripley destroyed them all by herself. By herself, like that part was kind of annoying to me. But
Flamethrower.
yeah,
Yeah.
flamethrower does fix everything.
I agree. I'm only to the second episode of Alien Earth, but one of my notes was this alien rules. Like, it's a very cool alien.
Ooh, wait till you see.
It's gonna get
Wait
worse.
till you see what Zach's. Wait till you get to a part later.
Yeah.
That I agree with you, Zach. I
Yeah.
wish I hadn't seen that.
So
But I also but I think that's pretty much what I had. Oh,
right.
one more gripe. When Ripley drops the queen through that little hatch on the ship on the not the Nostromo, the
Sulaco.
Sulaco.
Yeah.
When she blows that door, that cargo bay door, the alien, she's basically holding on with just her elbow with an alien queen on a ladder rung. And I'm like, wouldn't the pressure from space plus the queen also just rip off her arm?
It would have ripped
She
her
would have
in
been
half.
badly damaged, probably.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, but yeah, movie has to movie.
Yep.
For that one.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, because like I said, Alien worked on its own logic, and Aliens is a movie, and it's unapologetic about being a movie. It's like, oh sure, this movie stuff happens in this movie, and it's not. I said this on Games My Mom Found when we were talking about it, and it's inconsequential in the grand scheme of things, but Alien is filthy. Alien looks disgusting, lived in. Alien, it's been there for a long time. This looks sterile and somebody threw some dirt on it. It's not the same. It's not the same.
All right. Well, that takes us to ranking. This is one of those movies that is awesome the first time you see it, but it holds up less and less over time. And I think on this watch, I mean, parts of it just border on corny for me. Before we started this AVPCU endeavor, I really thought that it was going to be hard to decide if Alien or Aliens was the better movie, but it is not even close. Alien is by far the better movie. It holds up incredibly. I found that Aliens did not. It's not bad, far from it, I would even say, but I feel like it shows its age, and the change in director and direction are more than jarring to me now. I think it's a pretty great action flick, but less so as an Alien sequel. And I feel like it feels a bit like a war movie, and I think we will find out, but I think Predator does that better. That's all I have to say before we talk
find out soon.
Before we talk about the actual rank. Does anybody else have final thoughts?
I was worried about my rank because I thought I was going to get pushback, if not from both of you, but at least from George.
I was worried that I was going to get pushback from George too. This happens all the time where I'm like, ooh, like George and I can be really far apart on this, and it's like, oh no, we actually came to the same exact number. I mean, like,
yeah,
like we would have a list of 30 movies, and we're like, yeah, we both agree it's number 17. That's weird.
Yeah,
So.
I was. The one that I was most surprised on was how close you guys were on Deadpool Wolverine.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Okay, so go ahead, George.
I was gonna say, my last thought on it is, uh, I do love aliens, but I feel like it should be aliens with a Z and have nothing to do with alien,
So
and then it would have been good.
they could have just
Would have
left
been
the
great.
$ on there, and
They
then
Yeah.
could
they
have
know you
left
were
the
in for it.
$ on there.
So the Rotten Tomato scores for Aliens is 94% with the critics, 94% with the audience, and it's still 90% with the top critics. That's a little bit higher than Alien. It was like 93, 86, 94. So same with the audience, almost the same with critics, but the top critics like Aliens more, which I do not agree with. So I guess we should start with it. Well, I guess we all agree it's number 2, right? Because nowhere else
Yeah.
it can go. So what tier are we thinking here?
What are the tiers again? S tier.
It's not
definitely
S.
not S.
Yeah. So A, B, C, D, F.
I'm okay with it being A.
Okay. I was like B, maybe A.
I'm B, and I wouldn't be upset with A, but I'm definitely thinking B.
Okay. So
Like lower A, but there's no other there's no other movie in A yet.
so do you? So just thinking ahead. If number 2 is a B, that means number 3 has to also be a B. Doesn't mean that like something won't go above Alien and could be A, but I'm just saying like just something to keep in mind. I do feel like it's a B movie. George, are you gonna come down to a B, or do we have to play for it?
I can come down to a B. I'm
Yeah?
not married to it.
Okay, let's disappoint your wife and agree. So that makes Alien $, our new number 2 and a B tier movie. So
people
that
are going to be
makes-
so mad at us.
Oh, dude. You don't think people were mad at me for making Thor Love and Thunder like an A tier? They're mad at me for worse. They're mad at me for worse. It's fine.
I cannot wait to see what people say when we put this as a B tier. And when we watched the Alien movies back to back a couple years ago, I remember liking 3 a lot better than I remembered from the first time I saw it. It's a David Fincher movie.
Yeah, Fincher's good.
And I think it's gonna be surprising to a lot of people.
I think so too. I got to rewatch it. Maybe it doesn't hold up at all. But in my mind, I might like it better than Aliens.
Yeah, right now, I'm thinking it's probably gonna rank better than anyone expects. But I also have to watch the movie because, like you, I was like, oh yeah, aliens, aliens, right there.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
not.
close.
It's not even close. It's not even close.
Is Alien 3 the one with the alien vision? When you could
a
see
little
from
bit.
the point of perspective.
Yeah, like so running down the corridors. Yeah, it's one that came out of the dog, so it's a little more hunched over. I love that. I do recall that the effects are not great because it's a lot of green screen. But if the story is good, I can forgive effects. So I did want to say one more. When we were talking about, you're saying you can't wait to see how people react when you give this a B. We gave Deadpool and Wolverine a D, and the third Spider-Man movie a D. Like, I know people hate that we did that.
Deadpool, Wolverine. Let me get I don't have a lot of thoughts on a lot of Marvel movies. Deadpool Wolverine sucked so bad, I wouldn't have even given it a D. I hate that movie. It is nothing. It's not a movie. It is a fan service. Yeah. It is a 2-hour fan service.
What I don't like about it. Yeah, that's what I don't like about it. But I think Hugh Jackman in it brought it up to a different. That's another episode.
Yeah. It's another episode that already happened. That I wasn't on, and I haven't seen it. I only saw it a couple months ago.
Yeah. Let's do the horror edition Trivial Pursuit Poker just for fun. Do you guys have the notes open? You can read the questions.
No.
All right, we'll get the notes open so you can read the questions.
Where do I have the notes?
I can send you the link.
Oh, there it is. I see it.
I'll send you the link in Discord if you want. That'll help you.
No, is this?
You got it.
Okay, yeah.
Or I could just send you the questions in Discord if you want to. I didn't have any pictures for this one, right? No, I didn't. Okay.
I say we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
All right, since this doesn't matter, I'm not going to bother thinking about the ones I don't know too hard. It is, I think, Colby's turn to bid for. No, did he bid first last time? I have it written down somewhere. It's George's turn to bid first. Okay.
I only feel okay bidding for one.
Okay. I think. Did you try to outbid Colby last time, or did you just pass to me?
I think I passed to you.
All right, because I think it goes Colby, you, me. Right. All right, because I know two. I have a guess at a third, but I'm just going to bid two.
I know two, and I think I know three.
Okay, are you going to show off and bid three?
Yeah, let me bid three.
All right, cool. All right, I'm going to read them just because you're on your phone, George.
Okay.
All right, here we go. First one. All right, hold on one second. Let me write this down. Colby bid three. All right, first question. What company did Damien run as an adult in Omen 3, The Final Conflict from 1980?
That one I do not know.
Oh, I need to open the answers. It is Thorn Corporation.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Fox.
True or false? The first 5 Godzilla movies were filmed in black and white.
Okay, this was the one that I think I know, and I think it's false.
It is false. I would have guessed true. Only the first 2 Godzilla, 1954, and Godzilla Raids Again, 1955.
Yeah, I thought it was 3. I'll take a picture of my Godzilla toy shelf. We're big Godzilla fans in this house.
All right. So the next one I knew.
Mm-hmm.
Before he filmed Middle-earth epics, what director rose to fame with gore fests like Bad Taste from 1987 and Dead Alive from 1992?
That is Peter Jackson.
That is correct, sir.
Bad Taste and Dead Alive are great. They're both great.
I think I only ever saw Bad Taste 2. There's a second one, right?
That I don't know.
I don't know. I saw a Bad Taste movie. Is it the one where the guy falls and hits his head on the rocks and like his brain's sticking out and he's like poking it back in? Does that sound familiar?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Bad
Then it was the
Taste.
same. It was the same movie then. Never mind.
Yeah.
Who played? This is the other one I know. Who played twin gynecologists in David Cronenberg's film Dead Ringers from 1998?
That is Jeremy Irons.
That sure is Jeremy Irons. Very good. What camp did Wednesday and Pugsley Addams attend against their will in Addams Family Values from 1993?
I want to say Camp Anawana, but that's from Salute Your Shorts.
Yeah. I remember Salute Your Shorts.
You're actually not that far off. Not that far off. Camp Chippewa.
Okay.
Last one. What character was known as the celluloid killer in the film Fade to Black from 1980?
Not a clue.
Me either. Eric Binford.
The tool guy? The guy who had the tools in Home Improvement?
It does sound like that, doesn't it? I don't even know what the right person is, but that's funny. Okay.
Well, they are Binford tools in Home Improvement.
Yeah. Okay, that's it for Aliens. Next up for Series 3 will be Predator from June 12th, 1987. But first we're going to do an MCU adjacent episode with my pick, Raiders of the Lost Ark. That'll just be me and George, Colby, unless you want to do that for some reason.
No.
Do you?
I kind of don't want to either, but
Did you watch it yet?
No.
All right, Colby, where can people find you?
We do a sort of an audio sitcom called Jack Billings Presents. There's like 300 episodes out now, so if you're looking for something to binge, holy moly,
That's 150 hours.
Yeah, start with at least Haunted Apartment Complex, though. And then if you like it, you can go back and sort of see how people learn how to do an audio drama podcast. Because
I think that's the one I went back to, actually, was that season. Is that the one
Haunted
where
Apartment Complex.
Yeah, where your neighbor invites you to start a podcast? Or is that the first season?
Oh, that's the first season.
Okay, I went way back then.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there, but it is people figuring out how to do that kind of thing. And you can also listen to This Bizarre Adventure, which is me and B. Highland talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
When are you going to have a new episode of that? The last new episode was like, we're going to have a new episode soon.
Yeah. Well, B is a very busy person.
A busy bee.
So I do have 2 episodes banked, but I want to get more banked before we start releasing them again.
All right. I will put links to all those in the show notes. I basically am co-host on Retro Game Club now. I've just been doing that. I did 4 out of the last 5. But the regular host on that is taking a little break now. He's taking a little family vacation. So we're going to run a couple of backup episodes, but I'm on one of those. So if you want to hear more of me, and I'm talking video games instead of movies, retro video games specifically, check out Retro Game Club. If you want to contact us, you can email us at absolutelythebestpodcast@gmail.com. Join our Discord. There's a link in the show notes. We also have links there to our socials and a couple ways you can help support the show. I turned down $10 from Libsyn, by the way, for automatic ads. You're welcome. Please leave us a review. Please help us spread the word. Tell your friends, tell an artificial person, and tell an okay guy. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.
Bye.
Absolutely the Best Podcast is a production of Audio Johnny, a subsidy of Corporation Johnny. Corporation Johnny. If it exists, we own it.
This can't be happening, man. This isn't happening.
All right, so we'll do Alien Earth episode 2. All right.
I don't remember episode 2. Which one was that?
You'll pick it up as we go.
I watched it. I watched it 2 days ago, and I don't remember what happened in it.
It's the one that ends with a Tool song that Colby hated. That's all. I did rewatch this one. I made it all the way through on the rewatch. What do I have here? Who's the woman? The woman who's kind of the mom to the hybrids. She's talking to the boy genius, or whatever. She has a good line.
Boy Cavalier.
Yeah.
Oh,
Something about what's up.
This scene. He's eating an apple through the whole thing.
Yes.
And
so
I
annoying.
wanted to die.
Yeah. It's really hard to watch. That actor is really great at just being a total prick.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch.
It was really bad.
Yeah. Oh God, I want to punch him in his face.
To get it by an alien.
Slowly. But she has a line, something about, that they ended death, but without quality of life. They've just made consumers immortal. And that's why I don't want to live forever. I don't want to pay taxes forever. I don't want to have to buy shit forever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be happy with the time that I have.
You don't want to watch ads forever?
Yeah, that too.
This show really, I don't know if it's saying something, but it really thinks it's saying something.
Yeah. I thought that it was starting to get a little bit too Prometheus for me with all the other weird alien shit. Like, I really just wish they would stick to the xenomorphs, but they're not going to.
Yeah, I still don't see why people care about this eyeball thing.
You won't at the end either. Yeah, you won't at the end either. I have a lot of problems with the eyeball thing. People love it.
I mean, it keeps a mangled cat alive.
Yeah,
at some point, but like it's just scurrying.
I think it's kind of an interesting idea that it could take over something else.
It's an interesting idea in a thing that's not an aliens thing.
Right. Yes, exactly. Just get back to the aliens, please. But speaking of aliens, when Morrow, he like tasers the one alien, and then what is that gun that he has? It's like shoots like spider webs on it or something. What is that? That was
Very
weird.
strange.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
The Jiznet.
It does look like he's shooting ropes all over this alien.
Why did I not have that joke?
And then why did I not have that joke? But then, like, I think it's because the only thing I could concentrate on was after when he like picks it up and starts dragging it. The CGI is so bad on that.
I wasn't really paying that close attention.
It just looks like this big. It looks like if somebody in 1998 would have made like a Looney Tunes live action movie and they like captured Bugs Bunny and was dragging him, because it's like this cartoon burlap sack that he's dragging behind him, and it's not going up the steps right. It looks so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, this I had in my notes that this show kind of lost me. So, partway through the second episode, I was still kind of, I was still with it on the first episode, the first time I watched it anyway. I gotta be honest, I kind of tuned out after a little while, but again, I did rewatch it, so I think I picked up on more stuff the second time around. So before, I think this is before he actually has the web shooter thing. There's the necromorph kind of corners Morrow, and I think Morrow has his back to him, and he's just like being really still. And then the xenomorph doesn't kill him. I keep writing necromorph. Xenomorph. Necromorph is
Dead Space.
Yeah, Dead Space. But it doesn't kill Morrow.
Yeah.
So other than for plot reasons, why not? Was he just, they don't like it when you stand still, they can't see you or something?
No, I mean, he says something about like it responds like stronger to fear, and so when
How does
that
he
Marine,
know that? How does he know that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
When that Marine rounded the corner and went, "What the shit is that?" Like
Yeah.
that tangible fear.
I guess you might as well try, because otherwise you're gonna just die, right? You might as well try something, but seems a little lucky. Also, why are the xenomorphs so dry in this movie? Did they not have the Vaseline budget? Or this TV show, not movie?
Well, these are CGI aliens, so they don't even need to. All they need to do is put a little bit of like
some of them
on them.
They're not all CGI. I can tell you for certain that one of them and the finale is not CGI.
Okay.
You will know what I'm talking about when we get there. I thought that in a lot of these shots it was a guy in a suit, but I could be wrong.
They do the mouth good though. The mouth on this xenomorph,
that's where all the budget went.
Yeah, I think during the episode I said it, but I am into this xenomorph. I think this thing is cool. It also goes into that room full of rich people and just decimates them. And it is amazing. I was
That's
like,
not saying anything about capitalism.
How could it be?
Yeah, when that guy answered the door and he's like wearing this big powdered wig and he's got the makeup, I'm like, that's why I'm saying this show thinks it's saying something, but it's so heavy-handed that it's like, it's almost a parody of saying something. But yeah, I do enjoy seeing a rich guy torn in half, like crawling towards the phone to try to call for help.
Yes. That was a nice touch. going back to something you said about the first episode, Colby, with how the hybrids are kind of the more interesting part of this. I thought it was interesting before Wendy tells her brother, that it's her. Like, it was just interesting because he doesn't know who she is, right? But she knows who he is. So I thought that scene played out well. But then she tells him.
Well, I mean, her
That annoying guy
companion
told her.
tells him, yeah.
Let's see.
These actors do a good job of acting like they're children in the body of an adult, like synth.
And
they're very childlike.
It gets even better.
They do a really good job.
That part continues to be good. I thought Kirsch was really funny. The way that he talks to the kids. Have you guys seen Go? The movie Go? With
probably a long time ago.
Yeah, I think I saw it when it was in the theater.
It reminds me of him in that movie, the way that he talks to people in that movie. I do enjoy Timothy Olyphant in this.
He's so good, and he's so handsome, and it makes me sad that they make him look so weird in this.
Did I sent you that clip
yes.
of him? Yeah, where he had,
the
he
interview.
Had actually had the bleached eyebrows and was out in public like that.
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't really have anything until the very end. I didn't have anything else till the very end.
This is such an exposition. It's such an exposition episode. It's just walking around and talking.
Yeah, pretty much. So my last note was how the fuck did they get Tool to sign off on using Stinkfist for the end of this episode? And then I was like, well, have they sold their music before for something like this? Apparently 46 and 2, which is one of the best songs ever recorded in my opinion. It's my favorite Tool song. It's in one of the Captain America trailers, like the first Captain America movie. They put it in trailer 2. It's like right after he comes out of the super soldier transformation. So
I was never a fan of Tool, and then Maynard Keenan put out like 4 bands that all sounded exactly like Tool, and I'm like, I am so tired of hearing Tool. I'm so tired of this style of music now.
I think they sound pretty different. I really like Pucifer is one of those bands, and their albums are kind of hit or miss, but their latest one, they're about to put out another one, but the one that's the latest one from maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, I really like that one a lot. And I saw them live in like an opera. I was in an opera house. It was so weird. It was one of the best shows I'd ever been to. It was amazing. They put on a show. So anyways, that's for Tool talk. Pucifer talk. Also like
Tool.
A Perfect Circle. Yeah. Anything else on Alien Earth episode 2?
Is 3 the one that gets pretty action packed?
I don't remember. I just remember like it gets worse and worse and worse for me, except for 5, which was a flashback, which I liked a little bit more. But I'm sure that there's a lot of problems I was overlooking. So,
yeah, I'm on board for the show, but it needs some action. Something needs to happen, because that last episode 2 is walking and talking, and then we have a cool alien massacre, and then walking and talking.
Yeah, stuff happens. You're gonna get stuff happening, whether or not it makes sense, whether or not it's worthwhile. That's another story. But I do feel like this one is a bit on the slow side. All right. So I guess that's it for that. I do want to talk about scheduling real quick. George, you and I have Raiders of the Lost Ark scheduled for Sunday the 12th, 10/12 at 2 p.m. That's already on the schedule. The 3 of us have Predatorb on Sunday the 26th at 2 p.m., 5 p.m. Eastern. That's on the schedule. And then Predator 2, I'm proposing Sunday, November 9th at 2 p.m., 5 p.m. Eastern. That works? Colby's nodding. Nod your head louder, Colby.
I'm good.
Sweet.
November 9th looks good.
November
Yeah, I
9th.
have every
Okay.
other Sunday
Oh.
blocked out.
Yeah.
Okay.
November
That's-
9th, not November 8th.
Okay, that's interesting that you say that because I was thinking, well, because we skip now and then. Anyway, well, after Predator and Predator 2, in my current scheduling, I have, I think, the Fantastic Four, assuming that it's out and streaming, because we have to do the full episode on that still. And then I had whatever George's next MCU adjacent pick was going to be. But I can push one of those out to be between Alien 3 and Alien 4 or something. I'm not dead set on that schedule.
Alien Resurrection.
Oh, I get it now. Like great, because we only record every other week. It's going to work anyway. So as long as we don't skip 1 week, we should work. It should work.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
the only this was the outlier this week.
It's fine. It was just we all had something going on, it seems like. Okay, cool. Well, enjoy your child's birthday-ness tomorrow.
We're getting Indian food.
Nice. Do you get good Indian food around there? Yeah, probably. You're in like Philly, right? Philly area?
Yeah. We did find a very, very good Indian place with two guys who came over from India, and
sweet.
They just have a pot of curry just going all the time. It's so good.
Yeah. We got an Indian pizza last night. It was a chicken tikka masala pizza. That was really good.
Interesting.
It would have been better if we just had chicken tikka masala and naan.
Yeah.
But, as far as the pizza goes, it was pretty good.
Yeah. They used to do a buffet at lunch.
Oh, yeah.
And we would go. But 2020, they stopped doing it, and then they never started it up again.
There was one in Santa Barbara that we would go to in grad school. And I just remember one time eating so much at lunch that I did not eat until lunch the next day.
I love Indian food. It's my favorite.
It is good. I had this high school social studies teacher named Mr. Sawchuk, John Sawchuk, great guy. I never did well in social studies before. It wasn't interesting to me, but he made it interesting. And he took us all, this is upstate New York, he took us all on a field trip into Albany to go to an Indian food place. That was the first time I ever had Indian food, and I fell in love with it. It's so good. It's been one of my favorite cuisines ever since.
Yeah, it's my favorite food.
All right, man.
And I just love curry. Like I'll take a Japanese curry, I'll take an Indian curry, I'll take a Thai curry.
Ooh.
Anyway, now I'm hungry.
That's curry talk.
Yeah.
All right. George, how caught up are you on Peacemaker, by the way?
I'm not.
Okay. Let's just let's not drag this out. Let's do Peacemaker talk at the end after recording Raiders, and then it'll be over by then. And so if you're caught up, we can just do episodes 2 through 8 and be done.
That sounds good to me.
All right, man. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, leave your browser open for like a minute, please.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Hey guys.
Bye.
They recap what she had apparently saw. The recap that she had apparently seen an alien race. Sorry, she had apparently seen an alien once. The artificial person on her last Jesus. The artificial person on her last. I quit. Good night, guys.
You okay there?